I haven't ate anything in entire 2 days straight. I'm here walking like a soulless husk, literally no emotions whatsoever. But on the other hand, I was brutally honest. Whenever I would feel like saying something, I would say it with no hesitation. But as the day goes by, I suddenly find myself in a conversation with my grandpa. He's sitting right next to me and he tells me, fasting isn't all about food. Maybe you shouldn't fast with your food alone. It's more important that you fast with your mind as well. It didn't hit me so much back then, but it made a lot of sense to me. And then 5 months later, I find myself sitting downstairs reading the Bible for my family. The room is brightened up by the light. The TV is not working because I turned it off, and everyone is gathered around me to listen to what I am about to read. When suddenly a part about fasting comes next, everyone gets curious, and me as well. So I start reading, and it goes on to explain the same thing that Grandpa told me 5 months ago. The same thing, that you should fast with your mind more than you fast with your gut and tongue instead. But why do we fast with food in the first place? Well, for religious reasons. In Christianity, we have some specific fast periods in the entire year. Like before Easter, we fast for entire 7 weeks straight with no meat or animal-based products whatsoever. And through the whole year, on specific days like Wednesday and Friday, we do not eat meat or animal-based products whatsoever. In Islam, they have a rule before Ramadan to spend 40 days fasting, with having to not eat anything for the whole day and can only eat once sunset is out. So, in reality, it's for a religious person, but why did God actually want us to fast? It's because He wants to protect our mental health. But in some cases than not, this is kind of a brutal challenge, like the specific one. The 40-day period, the 40-day trial in Islam was so damn brutal back in those days that many people ended up even dying because of it. But the amount of result that you can get from that kind of fasting is insane. But in Christianity, some people cannot fast like that either. Some people cannot just eat vegetables and live off like that. Some people simply just have to eat meat. Some people cannot experience going 12 hours a day with no food without getting hungry. So that is where self-improvement comes into place. You may have heard of this concept called intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a specific period of time where you do not eat. For example, since the moment you went to bed, you wake up and you do not eat anything. You do not eat your breakfast. You wait. You wait until, for example, 12 o'clock and then you eat your meal. But what do you do while you are eating this meal? Well, that is where part 1 comes in this video. Intermittent fasting gives you a lot of benefits. First of all, it can detox your body. Second, it gives you some insane mental clarity and wisdom and guidance throughout your mind. And third, it can improve the way you see your leptin. If you don't know what leptin is basically this molecule, this little thing that your body has to have in order to recognize, okay, wait, I am full. I do not need any more food. If you don't see your leptin properly, you will continue to eat. Or if you see it way too early, you will eat, but not eat enough. So you need to see your leptin properly, and that is where intermittent fasting comes into place. But should you really go that extreme and literally fast for 3 days straight like I did? Well, personally, I wouldn't recommend it. But let me tell you of the benefits that I got. Well, just before we were about to go to the mass, me and my grandpa, we tried to sleep a bit that night, but my neighbors were doing some birthday party and the music was blasting all volume. And I'm here struggling to fall asleep when out of a sudden I decide to open up my tablet and just start reading a book that I was reading back then. It was a book from James Clear called Atomic Habits. I open up and start reading. Suddenly this music from my ears is gone. Everything is gone and I'm here present with the book alone. And out of a sudden, 10 minutes later, I find myself having read 15 pages in just 10 minutes. Holy shit, bro. This is amazing. But I wouldn't recommend it whatsoever. First of all, many people don't know how to break their fast properly, specifically this kind of fast. If you break this fast, this specific 3-day fast on the wrong way, you might as well end up in the hospital. Second, it's not healthy for your gut to literally eat on every 3 days, because after all, it may end up hurting itself. And third, you cannot function properly while doing it. I mentioned a lot that I was feeling like a soulless husk during this 3-day period. And literally, whatever work I was doing, it felt like nothing. It felt meaningless to me. I literally had no emotions. I literally had no sympathy to people. That is why I was so brutally honest. If something annoyed me, if something caught my eye, I would tell them. Whether it was good, whether it was bad, I would literally be here telling them whatever was on my mind. In some specific way, it makes you more honest, but in some specific way, it also makes you brutally rude to other people as well. Imagine just seeing a stranger on the path and literally telling them, I don't like you, bro, because you are so honest. That isn't so healthy nowadays. Sadly, it's not. Part 2. How do you fast with your mind? You see, many people are going to masses. Many people are going to churches, to holy places, to sacred temples. And they pretend that they are fasting. I specifically say pretend because they go inside, they are very well dressed. Oh, I mean, in a suit, they have the tie, they have everything. They have the super cool phone back into their pocket, which is still turned on. It's not on this do not disturb, bro. They have their phone on. And out of a sudden, while pretending to be believers and all of that, literally playing these songs that the Pope is chanting with him and all of that, they are doing that, and suddenly the phone rings. They open up the phone, they go outside and just start cursing on their phone, literally using bad, poor language on their phone. Or as soon as the mess is over, they go outside, they come back home and just start being angry toward their family, toward their closest ones. They end up hurting their closest ones. And then in the end, they tell you, oh, bro, I fast because I'm a Christian, because I'm a Muslim. You are not fasting. You don't care if you haven't ate anything in the entire year. If you at the end up hurting your closest somebody, your closest person to your heart, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your closest friend, this friend that literally would give your life to you if it's needed. If you end up hurting him and you say that you are fasting, that you're religious, that is not the way of a religious person. That is the way of a mediocre, below mediocre man. The proper way to fast is, from my understanding, to watch out for your language. If you make a mistake, you correct it right away. For example, you say something rude to somebody. Right away you realize it and say sorry. I don't know what had happened. It just came out of me. I'm really sorry. And you do not act like a selfish person anymore. Like everything is centered around you. And it will be hard in the beginning, because it is a self-improvement habit. Like meditation wasn't easy in the beginning. You had millions of thoughts floating inside your head as you were trying to focus on your breath. Journaling wasn't easy. Reading, bro. Reading specifically wasn't easy. You were here literally reading one sentence 7 or 8 times until you understood it. Fasting will not be easy as well. Intermittent fasting will not be easy. Because in the beginning it's supposed to be hard. Because when you begin, you will crave your favorite food. You will crave the words that you love so much using. And you will literally hate the limit that you have put on yourself, because now you realize how literally small your language barrier is. Almost your entire word limit was made out of curse words, of words that actually do more harm than good to people. And now you're limited to only 3 words that you have been using that are actually good. And now you have to learn more. It will be hard, and it's supposed to be hard. And a superior man, a man of character, will go through this challenge and will crash through the challenge. But a mediocre man, he'll know what he will do. He will just click off and continue his old-fashioned ways. Section 3. How do you break your fast? Now, many people do a mistake when it comes to breaking their fast. They think that they are supposed to just eat some specific food, whether it was good, whether it was bad, whether it was a burger or actually a healthy meal. It does not matter, bro. I'm just here to get my calories back, nothing else. Calories in, calories out, it's the same. It's not the same. And it's not the same here specifically. And if you break a fast, a brutal fast, like the 3-day fast that I have done, on a wrong way, by eating 3 pizzas in one day, you basically have reserved a spot for yourself in the hospital. Literally, so many people in my place, in my country, end up in the hospital after the Easter break. Because they don't know how to eat, bro. They don't know how to eat. They are like little monkeys. And they don't trust that you are a monkey, bro. You are watching a video like this. If you are somebody that literally sees food and goes ahead and eats it, oh no, like it's gonna disappear, bro. You're a monkey. And you will end up in the hospital too. That is not the way to break a fast. The way to break a fast is to do it through a healthy and simple way. Now, I'm not saying that you should go to the nearest park and just start eating grass like a horse on the ground. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you start eating healthy. By healthy, I don't mean eating grass like a horse. By healthy, I mean natural fat, meat, and single ingredient foods, specifically vegetables, not fruits. And no, fat isn't actually killing you. It's sugar that kills you. And there is a very good study, a 1 hour long video that you can watch on YouTube called The Fat Chance. It's made by scientists and they have experimented a lot with this, so they know what they are talking about. I will leave you the link of this video in the description so you can check it for yourself. Section 4. What if I still cannot start fasting? If that's the case, your mindset probably isn't in the right place. Basically, I learned this concept from the book that I was reading while I was being fasted. It's the concept that James Clear talks in his book, Atomic Habits. A concept to build a habit, a concept to become the person that you actually want to become. For example, you want to become this super cool guy that has millions of dollars, that can eat whatever he wants, that gets girls everywhere he goes, and that does not care. He can just wear whatever he wants. Perhaps you want to be this rich guy. But if you do not change something about it, if you still feel like a loser, you will never become this guy. So how do you actually change your personality to become like him? Well, you do this through 3 simple steps: affirmations, visualizations, and truly believing that you're the type of person that you actually want to achieve. Affirmations are basically few things that characterize the person that you want to become. For example, he is rich. I am rich. He wakes up at 5:30 a.m. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. Maybe he goes to the gym. No, not he. I go to the gym. Maybe he eats clean. He doesn't eat clean. I am eating clean. You see what I do here? You basically fish out the habits that he is doing, pull them out and just write them down and actually start saying them like you already do them. And visualizations is basically visualizing yourself doing these habits. Going to the gym, waking up at 5:30 a.m., visualizing your success, visualizing yourself slowly becoming this man, slowly, step by step, getting closer to the man that you actually want to become, to this ultra gigajet with money flowing from his pocket. You want to become this man, or whatever imagination that you have inside your head. Maybe it's a spiritual person, but you get my point. You just start visualizing that you get closer to this person, and then truly believing that you are this person. If you don't have this last one, affirmations and visualizations don't matter, bro. If you don't believe that you can actually make it, then you will not make it. How do you do this? Basically just looking at yourself in the mirror, or just closing your eyes and saying, I am a successful man, bro. I am a man full of testosterone. I am a man who will easily get there. And I truly believe that. And you actually, from your deepest desires, from your deepest of the depths, mean that. You say that with such a courage, with such masculine voice, and with such profound bliss while saying it. That is how you know that you truly believe it. And now why am I telling you all of this? Well, I'm simply tired of seeing people literally misusing God's name. They fast in God's name. Bro, they don't fast. If you see people fasting with food, but not with their mind, they are not fasting. Fasting, as I said, should be done more with your mind instead of the food that you eat. So basically, fast with your mind, fast with your mindset, fast with your vocabulary, fast with your words, with your tongue, fast with that, not with your gut. It doesn't matter if you ate 300 burgers or 300 potatoes or ate plain grass on the meadow nearby. It doesn't matter. If you in the end end up hurting somebody with your poor vocabulary, you in the end, bro, you're a fucking failure. You're a fucking mediocre man. And in my eyes, you're not a religious person. And I really hate people don't know about intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting shouldn't be only for self-improvement. Self-improvement should be for everybody, but sadly, many people refuse to go up on this path. But at least, if you don't want to go into self-improvement, at least start doing intermittent fasting. Basically, you're living life on hard mode if you aren't doing intermittent fasting. You see so many obese people. You see so many people literally looking like baseball balls, like balls full of fat and water walking down the street. Maybe you see them in bars, in wheelchairs because they cannot move anymore. You've probably seen Nicocado Avocado. It's this guy right here. This guy, bro, was amazing. This guy had a beautiful face. This guy used to play a violin. Look at how skinny he is. And now look at him. But imagine if he continued to eat healthy and fast like he used to before. He would be an amazing violinist by now. So that is the reason why I try so hard throughout this video to tell you that you should go up on this path as well. I am here to help you because you will achieve a lifestyle that you have never even dreamed of. This is a new opportunity, bro. This is not something only limited to Christians, only to Muslims, only to Buddhism or something like that, or Hinduism or whatever religion. No, it's a combination of all. All of them just came here and combined. Now we have intermittent fasting. It's not for some specific religion. Self-improvement isn't a religion. Self-improvement is a way of life. And in this way of life, we do intermittent fasting. That means what self-improvement offers you will not be offered to you by any kind of religion. Imagine one day you wake up next to your beautiful wife. Both of you had an amazing loving time last night, and you feel super proud of yourself for doing it. You feel actually amazing for it. You kiss her whilst she is still asleep, and you go ahead to do your routine. You finish your morning routine, and here you are working. By 9 a.m. you already finished most of your work, and by 12 a.m. bro, you're already here sitting with 1K in your pocket, just peacefully reading a book that you have ordered yesterday. You're still fasted, and you get kind of hungry. But suddenly, something just comes under your nose, and you smell it. It comes from the kitchen. It's a smell of something that you really love, and you for a fact know that it is your wife cooking you a meal. You go downstairs, and it's exactly what you thought. Your favorite healthy meal that you enjoy the most. She has cooked that for you, and it's there on the table, very nicely decorated, and you're about to sit down to eat. But you don't even want to eat because you almost feel sad that you have to break this beauty that she had made. So you look her in her beautifully full of love eyes, just there waiting for you to give the compliment she deserves. You look at her, you go ahead and grab her and start kissing her against the wall, just as she likes it. 10 minutes later, both of you sit down and start eating together. Both of you are happy. You give her the compliment she truly deserves, and your life is full of joy. You haven't said a bad word for an entire year, and it's all thanks to intermittent fasting. It's that simple. Now, will you have the courage to actually answer the call for this life that awaits you, for yourself, for your future woman, your wife, your children, and yourself? Or will you be a mediocre man and hide in your little safe zone, constantly hurting the ones that you love every single day, afraid to be the person that you actually want to become in the future? It's your call and your choice, my friend.